Inside Accountancy by Shakun, Accounting Made Easy for you all. Today we'll be talking about Cash Book, which is a special purpose book, the Book of Prime Entry. In this video, we'll be talking about the Cash Book, types of Cash Book, particularly double column Cash Book, with the help of an example. So what is a Cash Book? I've already explained that in my previous video that Cash Book is a kind of book where all the receipts and payments of cash are recorded at one place. So cash book is a kind of a substitute for a cash or bank account. So if we are maintaining a cash book, we need not prepare the ledger accounts of cash account or bank account. So cash book is a subsidiary book where all the receipts and payments of cash as well as all the checks received or payment made are recorded in one book under one head. Moving on, we had already talked about the types of cash book. There are two types. One is the simple or single column cash book, which I have talked about in my previous video. Also, there is another type of cash book that is two column or double column cash book. In the double column cash book, as the name itself is suggesting, there are two amount columns. So one amount column is for cash and the other one is for bank. These two amount columns are found respectively on both sides, debit side as well as credit side. Let's have a look at the format of a double column cash book. So again, we have two sides, DR and CR. On the debit side, we have 5 columns, that is date, particulars, ledger folio, which is the page number of ledger book. Then amount column, if you notice, has been divided into two, cash as well as bank. Similarly, on the credit side also, the amount column has been divided into two, cash and bank. The rest of the columns being same. So the only difference between a double column cash book and a single column cash book is that in a single column cash book, there was just one amount column that was for cash. But in a double column cash book, there are two amount columns. One is for cash, the other one is for bank. The other rule remains the same, that is, the debit side is the receipt side. All the receipts of cash or the receipts in bank are recorded on the debit side, whereas the credit side is the payment side, and all the payments made in cash or through check are recorded on the credit side. Now let's understand this with the help of an example, that how the entries have to be posted in a double column cash book. The first transaction is started business with check of rupees 1 lakh on 1st of April 2020. So now we've started the business with not with cash but with check. That means money is coming in the bank. So our journal entry in this case would be bank account debit to capital account. Now since we are making a double column cash book, therefore if in a journal entry or if in a transaction, cash or bank, either of the two, if it is affected, then that entry will be posted in the cash book. So in this particular transaction, bank account is being debited. Therefore, we have written on the debit side to capital, but the amount, if you notice, we have mentioned in the bank column. Why in the bank column? Because the business has been started with check. Therefore, the amount has been written in the bank column. Moving on, the next example is goods purchased for cash on 2nd of April 2020, rupees 50,000. The journal entry would be purchase account DR to cash. Goods are coming in, cash is going out. Now, since we are making a double column cash book, so cash as well as bank transactions will be recorded. Therefore, cash, since it is being credited, so this entry will be recorded on the credit side under cash. So, how will we record it? On the credit side, we'll write by purchases amount under the cash column. So, if you notice, in the first transaction, it was a bank transaction. So, in the particulars we had written, but the amount was written under bank. But in the second transaction, it was a cash transaction. So, the amount was written under cash. So, as and when the transactions come, you have to identify whether it is a cash transaction or a bank transaction. Depending upon that, it will be put in respectively in the cash or bank column. Let's take another example. Withdrew from bank for personal use. So when we are withdrawing from bank for personal use, our journal entry would be drawings account DR to bank. Now since we have made a payment, we have made a payment from the bank. Money has been withdrawn from the bank. So bank is being credited here. So this entry will be recorded on the credit side, right? So on the credit side, we'll write the name of opposite account, that is drawings. So this is how it will appear by drawings under the bank column. Please note, since it was through bank, therefore it has been mentioned under bank. Had it been withdrew from bank, withdrew for personal use only, bank word had not been written here, then we would have written this 10,000 under cash column. So this is simple. Any transaction of cash comes under cash column. Any transaction of bank comes under bank column. Moving on, let's take few more examples. Okay, so another example would be cash deposited into banks. This is a little different example, so please listen very attentively. Cash deposited into bank on 1st of April 2020. The journal entry in this case would be, since money is deposited in the bank, so our entry will be bank account DR to cash. Now, since we are making a double column cash book, and you know that cash and bank both are recorded in a double column cash book, that means that both the aspects of this transaction, the debit aspect as well as the credit aspect, will have to be recorded. Now, let's take look at it one by one. First, bank. Since it is a double column cash book, bank has to be recorded. So, bank is debited in the name of cash. So, on the debit side, we write to cash 20,000 under bank cash account. Okay. So, bank had to be debited. Therefore, on the debit side, we write the name of opposite account, that is cash, but the amount is written under cash column. Moving on, in the same transaction, cash account is credited. Now, since cash is credited, so cash, the credit of cash has to be mentioned on the credit side of double column cash book. So there we will write by bank 20,000. Now, since we've written by bank, so therefore the amount will come under cash column. Okay, so cash is credited with rupees 20,000 in the name of bank. So if you notice that the same transaction has been debited in the cash book as well as being credited in the cash book. Such transactions are called as contra entries, and these contra entries are always defined by writing a small c under the ledger folio column. So on the same date, that is on 1st of April, our cash book shows a DR balance also as well as a CR. On the same day, the bank is increasing and the cash is decreasing. So this is a contra entry because it affects both the sides of the account. Let's take another example. Withdrew from bank for office use 10,000 on 7th April 2020. Now, withdrew from bank for office use. What have you withdrawn? Cash. From where? From the bank. So, our entry would be cash account DR to bank account. Again, in this transaction, we notice that cash and bank, both the accounts are appearing. Since we are making a double column cash book, so we have to make a proper treatment of both cash and bank. So first, let's look at cash. Cash account is debited. So on the debit side, we are going to write the name of opposite account, that is bank. So on the debit side, we write to bank and the amount is written under cash. Please understand, this is very important, that cash is to be debited. So on the debit side in the cash column, we write the name of opposite account, that is bank. I hope that's clear. Moving on, bank is to be credited. So on the credit side, under the bank account, we write the name of opposite account, that is by cash. So these entries, they are known as, again they are identified as C by writing a C under ledger folio column, and they are known as contra entries. So whenever there is an entry in which both cash as well as bank account are affected, such entries find a place on both debit as well as credit side in the cash book, and such entries are called as contra entries. Moving on, let's take a question, let's take a problem and try to solve it. So prepare a bank column cash book from the following transactions. The transactions are given to you in the question. So first we'll quickly make the format. You can simultaneously do it with me. So the double column cash book format is, we have both cash and bank columns on the debit side and cash and bank columns on the credit side. So moving on to the first transaction, our first transaction is cash balance and bank balance is given on June 1. The balances which are given means that in the previous month there must be some balance of cash and bank which was left. That balance has been transferred to the current month, that is June. So the cash and bank balance basically is the opening balance and it will be transferred to the cash book on the debit side. Since no CRDR is mentioned, we always mention it on the debit side. So this transaction will be mentioned in the cash book on the debit side, as you can see on the screen. To balance brought down, 500 under cash and 1750 under bank. Let's look at the second transaction. So the next transaction here given on June 5 is cash received from sale of shares. We are receiving cash. So what would be the journal entry? Cash account is debited because cash is coming in, and to shares. Now since cash is debited, therefore this entry when shown in the cash book will be mentioned again on the debit side since cash was being debited. So to investment or to shares amount is mentioned under cash. Now since the investments or shares were sold for cash, you please notice that the amount has been mentioned under cash and not bank. Moving on to the next transaction, we have paid into bank. What have we paid? We have paid cash into bank. So our entry would be bank account DR to cash. So bank is being debited and cash is being credited. So how will this entry be recorded? On the debit side, we will debit bank in the name of cash. So you can see on the debit side, we will write to cash and the amount under bank. Similarly, that means bank is to be credited. So on the credit side, we will write by bank and then the amount will be under cash. I hope the entry is clear to you. This is a contra entry which will be represented by writing a C under ledger folio. So our entry was bank account DR to cash. On the debit side, we write to cash and amount under bank. And on the credit side, we write by bank and amount under cash. Okay. Moving on to the next transaction, we have paid SBOS by check. So SBOS account DR to bank. The next transaction also I'll explain simultaneously. Paid wages in cash. So entry would be wages to cash. So in the first transaction on June 7, the bank is being credited, and in the next transaction cash is being credited. So these transactions respectively will be shown on the payment side of the double column cash book as follows. So by SBOS, we were making the payment through check. Therefore, the amount has been written under the bank column. And the next entry was we were paying wages through cash. Therefore, the amount has been written under the cash column. Moving back to the question, the next transaction is received from A. Mukherjee by a check and sent to bank. So you received a check from A. Mukherjee and you sent it to the bank on the same day. That means the bank is receiving the check. So bank account DR to A. Mukherjee, bank is being debited in the name of A. Mukherjee. Therefore, in the cash book on the debit side, we will write to A. Mukherjee and the amount is written under bank. Why? Because we had received the check and we had deposited it into the bank. Had the check not been deposited into the bank, we would have not posted this entry in the double column cash book. I will also be talking about such typical transactions in my next video. So going back to the question, our next transaction is drew from bank. So when we draw money from the bank, our entry is cash account DR to bank. So yes, you are right. This is a contra entry where cash is debited in the name of bank and bank is credited in the name of cash. So on the debit side, what are we going to write? We are going to write to bank. So in our solution on the debit side, we will write to bank, and then see, take it as a hint. Whenever I write to bank here, the amount will not never be there in the bank account. Why? Because bank is the name of opposite account. That means cash had to be debited. So cash had to be debited with 500 in the name of bank. Similarly, on the credit side, bank has to be credited in the name of cash. So again, this is a contra entry which will be represented by a small c in the ledger folio column. Going back to the question, Paid office salaries in cash, simple entry. We are making a payment of salaries through cash. Since it is a payment, so it will be mentioned on the credit side of double column cash book by office salaries. And since the payment is made through cash, therefore the amount has been mentioned in the cash column. So going back to the question, next transaction is sold goods for cash and banked the same. So we are making cash sales, but we are depositing the cash into the bank. So cash will not be coming in the journal entry. Our entry will be bank to sales. Why bank to sales? Because the cash has been deposited into the bank. So bank is being debited in the name of sales. So in our cash book, bank will be debited in the name of sales. Therefore, 800 under bank column and in the name of sales, so to sales. Moving to the next transaction, we have paid rent by check. So rent account DR to bank. So you are making a payment of rent and the payment is made through bank. So this is a payment. So in the cash book on the credit side, we write by rent and the amount under bank column. Then the last transaction is paid into bank. That's a repeat transaction. There was the same transaction took place on June 6th also, same entry, bank account DR to cash. So bank is debited in the name of cash and cash is credited in the name of bank. So on the debit side we write to cash, we are debiting the bank account, and on the credit side we write by bank, we are crediting the cash account. And reflecting C to indicate that this is a contra entry. A contra entry is an entry which affects both the debit and credit side of a cash book. So let's have a last look at the question. So basically all the transactions we have posted in our cash book. We have done the postings. So now all the transactions being recorded, now we need to do the balancing. How do we do the balancing? We'll do it one by one, step by step. So first let's have a look at cash. You remember how we used to do the balancing in a simple column cash book? We used to find out the total of DR and CR side and see that which total is greater. So find out the total of DR and CR side. So the greater total is written on the both the sides, on debit side as well as credit side. So in case of cash, cash can never have a credit balance. So cash will always have a debit balance. So the DR balance of cash is greater, that is 6500, which we have written on both sides, on the debit side and credit side. From this greater total, we will subtract all the things which are mentioned on the credit side. From the greater total, we will subtract the lesser total and we will get the answer, which is our balance of cash. So this is our answer. Then let's do the same thing for bank. We'll find out the total of debit side as well as credit side. Again, the debit total is greater, so we write it on both sides. From the debit total, the greater total, we will subtract the lesser side, the credit side, and we will get the balancing figure, that is 7050. So that is our balance carried down of cash as well as of bank, which is our answer. Please note that whenever the balance is carried down, it must be brought down to the next month. So after June, we will be bringing it down to July 1 to balance brought down. See, if you notice here, I've written carried down. Why carried down? Because I'm going to carry this balance to the next month. And here I've written brought down. Why brought down? Because I have already brought it down from the previous month. So this is our answer. That's why we say that cash book always, I'm not talking about bank, but I'm talking about cash always has a debit balance, because whenever we look at the balance, we always look at the opening balance, which of cash is always debit. Bank may have a debit balance, may have a credit balance. In case of credit balance of cash, we call it bank overdraft, which means that we have withdrawn more than the limit offered by the bank and we have to make a payment to the bank. So this is how we are going to solve the question and how we are going to do the balancing. Moving on, always remember few things. First is that you have to remember that cash column will either have a debit balance or it will have a nil balance. The payments can never be more than the receipts. So it will either have a DR balance or it won't have any balance. There will maybe nil balance. The second thing which you must remember is that the bank column may either have a debit balance or a credit balance. If it is a debit balance, means we have money in the bank. And if it is a credit balance, that means that we have withdrawn more than the limit and we have to make a payment to the bank, which is commonly called as bank overdraft. The third thing which you must remember is that if cash book with the bank column is maintained, then we are not required to make cash account or bank account in the ledger. So in the ledger, cash and bank account are not required if we are making the cash book. So on the basis of the concept taught, you have to attempt question number 6 to 14, which is based on double entry bookkeeping system, the double column cash book from your book T.S. Gariwal. So in this video, we have talked about the cash book, the various types of cash book, double column cash book, with the help of an example where I step by step solved the question with you all. I hope the concepts are clear to you. Thank you so much for listening to me so intently. I hope I was of some use to all of you. If you have any questions, you can contact me on my email ID. Uh, in case you like my content, then you can like it, share it, subscribe it, spread it to as many students as possible. So this is Inside Accountancy by Shakun signing off. Thank you so much.